Morning. I say morning, it's night. I just went to the gas station and got me some coffee. These little baby eyes are barely open. But I got a question that's so good, I just gotta mess with it. Are Masons Satanist? This is a difficult one because the answer is yes and no. It depends what you've figured out rather than the path you've been led down. So I'll show you how this works. On the back of the dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust one." On the other, any other of the money, it'll show you something like the Temple of Baal, the pillared buildings. This is just another way to symbolize one. It says the same thing on the back of all the money. It's saying, in God we trust one. Thank you, one. We love you, one. What is one? One is actually the geometry, that everything comes back to one. It's not God. It's this. It works exactly the same as the word. When you look at like those Ica stones, I was showing how the sun is blowing through the horn. That's the word, but it's not God. This is where we get into the messengers. You've heard the messengers, haven't you? All this, some of the biggest, hidden, corrupted, twisted stuff in our reality. And there's so much mind control, I can't even get into it because there won't be any progression. There will be shooting of the messenger, like what originally happened that got us in the state we're in. But the ones that are tricked into worshiping the message, which is the geometry, that is being tricked into Satanism, materialism. You're defaulting to Satan even though it's not a direct worship of Satan. You're worshiping a tool that God gave you to discover, not God. And that's a fallacy in itself because God doesn't want your worship. God is the Father, and the best father we could ever have on earth, like a dad. The best one is only trying to model themselves as an image of God correctly. A father wants to see their child do the best they can, not worship them. That's the difference, is actually knowing the Creator over the tools, using the tools to discover the Creator, not discovering the tools and saying, this is the Creator. By doing that, you'll use those tools and say you are God, not understanding God made them for you to discover, so you wouldn't have to be enslaved. So when we rise up in consciousness enough and realize there's a higher science that's higher than man, that man can make no law over, man can say nothing about, that we all would follow if we knew it existed. Like the world used to know it existed, so nobody could tell anybody anything. It's impossible with the higher law. But when man's put under nature, man ends up by default worshiping the code and not knowing the Creator. So yes, Masons are Satanists, it's yes and no, but most people are tricked into this exact same thing. Now this is the most, with the last video I was saying, this is some of the most heavy duty mind control. This right here is, I'm talking about sons of God singing, talking about the messenger being shot. I'm showing you the actual word. I'm showing you the message coming into this reality. Who was the messenger? This is where things get into some of the most heavy-duty mind control. Who was the messenger?